Good evening, everybody. Hell's Unicorn here again, and this is a video response to the video that was put up by Ron Paul with regards to the up-and-coming vote to renew the Patriot Act. Anybody who's been following my channel for the past 4 years can pretty well deduce that I am diametrically opposed to the Patriot Act for a number of reasons, not the least of which is the fact that it is an act that deals primarily with the supplanting of American liberties in the name of security. It is not something that really increases security in a general sense so much that it seeks to specifically limit certain kinds of threats, and by doing so it essentially targets certain specific civil liberties, among these being the right of habeas corpus. Now, some have argued with me in the past on exactly how far habeas corpus actually extends, and to which I would simply assert any invasion of any person's personal property constitutes a violation of habeas corpus unless there has been due process before that violation occurs. What this means basically is that data mining people's email, going through people's private things, monitoring phone calls, wiretaps, all of that stuff, if it's being done without a warrant, it's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. Now, if this is done overseas, covert operations, that's a separate issue. I'm not particularly big on black ops either, but just focusing specifically on the issue of civil liberties here in America, there is a huge problem with the government being able either to monitor or to hire corporations to monitor the activities of citizens, most of whom probably have no connection whatsoever with anything resembling terrorism, be it foreign terrorism via either Islamic extremists or other groups, or domestic-grown terrorism, mostly personified in enviro-terrorists, most of whom are intellectually indigent leftist nutbags who apparently don't know how to assert themselves other than by bombing stuff. Long story short, ladies and gentlemen, as far as I see it, the Patriot Act is one of the biggest boondoggles in history, probably an even bigger one than the Alien and Sedition Act that was passed under President John Adams. And quite frankly, I am hopeful, though obviously pessimistically so, that at some point in the near future, most if not all of it will be repealed. Now, I constantly am hit again with the arguments of, well, 9/11 changed everything. You know, they say 9/11 this, 9/11 that, so therefore we must A, B, and C. To which I respond, no, absolutely not. 9/11 does not change anything except for maybe we would need to re-examine exactly how we conduct ourselves and also how we handle security here with regards to actual implementation. But 9/11 or any other tragic event does not change the basic tenets upon which this country was founded, which was individual liberty. I can't stress this enough. The whole concept of being conceived in liberty, one nation, founded by liberty, all of that, liberty, liberty, liberty. I can't stress it enough. The 3 L's that make this country great: liberty, liberty, and liberty. You look at all of the other countries out there that have the same problems with violence, crime, and whatnot. They do not necessarily share the same kinds of liberties that we do, and they still have the same problems. As Benjamin Franklin said so eloquently, those who trade liberty for security will have neither and deserve neither. So, in closing, I would just like to ask all of you, my subscribers, both old and new, a question. Do you think that the Patriot Act will either be repealed or at the very least debated openly before being renewed this time around? Do you think that that is a real possibility, that it would be either repealed or that it will simply be debated openly? For me, the answer is absolutely not. I think that both the Republican Party and Democratic Party establishments have no interest whatsoever in letting this massive power grab that they've both managed to achieve slip through their fingers through the public forum of intellectual discourse. Let's just put it that way, because anybody with a head on their shoulders will realize that this bill does not make us safer, and it definitely isn't doing us any good in any other respects either. It created a whole new level of bureaucracies that are costing us tons of money, which we don't have, and on top of all of that, it's making this country less free. And if America is not free, then it might as well not be America. So take from it what you will. With prudence to myself and benevolence to all of you, good evening.